Now, just before his latest statements to the media, remember Donald Trump had posted a long statement on his social media platform Truth Social. The first claim from his side was about talks with Iran. The US president announced that he's postponing the strikes on Iran's power plants by 5 days. There's a 5-day halt to those military strikes. In fact, he had earlier issued a 48-hour deadline as well to Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. That deadline was about to end in a few hours from now, but now it seems to have been extended. Trump has claimed that a number of things in his social media post, have been regarding the postponement of these military strikes. He said that the US and Iran had very good and productive conversations. He's also said that the countries were working toward a complete resolution of the hostilities. He said the talks had been in-depth, detailed, as well as constructive. Trump has also added that the talks will continue throughout this entire week and that the 5-day postponement of strikes on Iranian power plants is subject to how these very talks move forward. However, remember, Iranian media has been reporting the complete opposite so far. There's been contradictory statements. Various Iranian news agencies say that no negotiations are taking place between the US and Iran. Iran's Fars news agency has cited sources and said that neither direct nor indirect talks have taken place between the two countries. Tasneem agency has said that Iran will continue to respond to the attacks and broadly defend its territory. In fact, it is also reported that Iranian officials say that the Strait of Hormuz will not return to the pre-war conditions and arrangement. And the country's Mehr news agency has cited Iranian foreign ministry sources who say that Donald Trump's statement is meant to decrease energy prices and buy him time to make military plans further. The question now is an individual unknown to some Iranian authorities holding talks? Remember, it's important to note that no GCC country has confirmed or denied these latest talks between US and Iran. Before Trump's big remarks, Iran's Defense Council had raised the stakes for Washington, D.C. The council has warned that any attack on Iran's coast or islands will cut the Gulf routes and communication lines. They've also threatened to lay explosive sea mines in the surrounding waters. Oil prices have reacted sharply to Donald Trump's statement. They are already down by over 13%, and more volatility is expected. All right, let me go across to Susan Teherani, my colleague. She's joining us live on the broadcast from New York to get us the latest of what's been happening as far as this entire to and fro is concerned. Susan, a lot of to and fro happening since the US president made that announcement of a 5-day pause on the military strikes on Iran's power structures. But take us through what is happening right now. There is a lot of commotion as far as this entire conflict is concerned. Iran has denied these talks. Any confirmation from the American side? Donald Trump is saying that there have been direct talks. Iran continues to stand by its own stance that there have been no direct talks.
We did hear from the president, and he went into full detail about what happened during the weekend. He says that they are talking to an individual. He also, at some point, said that he's talking to a group of individuals within the power apparatus in Iran. We're getting reports that there were mediation efforts. This is according to Axios by Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan. They had been passing messages throughout the weekends, and one source is telling Axios that these mediation efforts continue even as we speak. Now, it was interesting that the president said he talked not to the replacement of Iran's supreme leader who has been deceased, his son, but another respectable leader, which, it's hard to tell who that person would be. There are certain reformist elements within Iran that could be talking to the United States that favor, for example, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi's approach in mediation efforts, but we can't really name any names. And when you see Iran denying it, now these talks may have just not happened at all, but when we see Iran denying it, it's hard to really tell who's in charge in Iran and whether or not there are different factions right now in Iran hoping to lead the day after this war ends. So that's something to take into consideration right now. We really don't know who's exactly in charge. Nonetheless, the president made clear that that attack that he had warned about on power plants is going to be delayed at least for 5 days. Now, it's interesting to note that those 5 days are the 5 working days where the markets are open, and after 5 days, we go into the weekend again. So this is a very sensitive time right now. But a lot is happening, and the most important thing that's happening is those attacks by the United States and Israel continue to happen against Iran, and those retaliatory attacks from Iran continue to happen as well.
All right, Susan, thanks very much for joining us at the moment and getting us the latest.